What's up, guys? The Lazy Goldmaker here, and well, today we're going back to Dragonflight for a little bit. So the final season, the fated season, or whatever you want to call it, is on the horizon. Not quite there yet, of course. We're looking at 10.2.5 as the next bit. But obviously the last season, the 9.2 patch has been out for a while, and is in some ways winding down. In other ways, it's keeping value high. I think Dracothist is still quite valuable, for instance, which is maybe surprising. It's more expensive than it was at the beginning of the patch. But I'm going to talk about what you can spend your time doing in terms of gold making in this, relatively speaking, slow period for the game of the Fated season, where a lot of people check out. I know I did during most of the Fated season of Shadowlands, mostly checked out. So the Shadowlands season, the Fated season, was very slow. And when I say slow, I'm talking about in terms of max level gold making, which is what I like to do, sell stuff that's used for powerful items, because that's generally where people are most willing to spend their gold. So that's usually my focus. In Shadowlands, that was really slow during the season, the Fated season, season 4. And the reason for that was that professions didn't get updated. We didn't get any new item level stuff for professions. So essentially people were using their old legendaries, just swapping them to a slightly less valuable slot over time as they got higher item level in other slots. But overall, there wasn't that much demand for anything Shadowlands related. It was, gold making wise, fairly barren. You were selling stuff for very, very small profit margins, and it didn't feel particularly rewarding. And I would not be surprised to see something quite similar in terms of Dragonflight. Overall, it's not something people care that much about on average. They care a lot less about the Fated season or the final season than they do about the real seasons with the tier, for whatever reason. At least raid-wise, it's very understandable, and plus-wise, there are people who care, and there's still gold to be made, absolutely. You can still make gold with crafting orders and stuff right now. But that's not what we're going to talk about more today. So now we're going to talk about, this is the time to get into cosmetic markets. Cosmetics always have value. It's lower value, relatively speaking, compared to max level stuff, because it's not strictly speaking necessary to make your character better, so a lot of people just don't bother with too much cosmetics. But there is a lot of gold to be made with cosmetics in this game, particularly if you just focus on doing it long term. You can see here, I posted, 8 days ago, and we have 44,000 gold coming in from some battle pets. So this is the type of stuff that you can get into now, and now is the perfect time. So the methods that I like are some of the more popular ones. Crafted transmog. You can craft tons of various armors and weapons from all over the game's history. There's so many of them. I couldn't even begin to list all the potentially good items to sell there. Crafted mounts, that's a much smaller list, but also a very interesting one. Battle pet flipping, like I'm doing here, you can flip transmog. These are all some types of gold making this is a great time to get into. And this is something that you can keep running once you get into the War Within. You'll have that sort of a side business that you don't engage that closely with, because you don't really need to do more than post every other day or even every week, and you'll still get some sales, and it's a reasonable and nice way to make some gold. If you want to do the flipping, where you buy stuff on the auction house and try to resell it for a higher price, I think you 100% need to be active on multiple realms now. You can trade cross-realm with anyone, and battle pets you could always move around with the pet journal. So I can cage up any pet here. I can put it in a cage, and I'll get it in my inventory, and I can post it on this realm. And then I can learn it to get it back into the journal, and then you can log on to another character and cage it there instead. So battle pets, this has always been the case for battle pets, but I think it's more the case also for other transmog types that you're looking to flip. You need to take advantage of the ability to buy them for a low price on high pop realms or other realms where the price is low for whatever reason, and then try to sell it on a realm with a higher price point. So the first example market I wanted to talk about in the realm of crafted transmog is all of the Shadowlands legendaries. They sell pretty well. You craft the item level 190 version, and just craft one of each, 2 of each, 3 of each of whatever recipes you have. And it doesn't take that long to unlock the rest of them. You just need to do some campaign costs. I have a video specifically for this that's also linked in the video description for if you want to set this up. You can see that some of these are selling for very nice profits, 9,000 on these boots right now on my realm. We have another piece here, Umberhide Pauldrons, 3,700 gold profit. And then some of them that are selling for just a couple of hundred gold profits. And this is very consistent. These things still sell. They look cool. The one thing to note if you're going to do this is that one of the required materials is the Arboreal Shards. This is a vendor material that you can buy from Shadowlands vendors, and it is available from rep discount vendors. So if you want to be maximizing your profit, you need to either have a character that's exalted with one of the factions. I think all of the factions have vendors that sell Arboreal Shards. The easiest one to get to is either the Arden Wield or the Bastion one. Or you have a Goblin alt that you can just run. You can even park it at the vendor if you can get it there. And just send over gold, buy whatever Arboreal Shards you need, and mail them over. That's and then you're ready to go. If you do the Arboreal Shards with maximum rep discount, it's 100 gold per versus 125 gold per for the full price, and that's going to stack up when you're using 10 of these per item. That is gonna eat into your profits if you're not doing that. So that's the most important thing, and then just unlocking the recipe doesn't take that long. And they sell consistently. We can see that some of my items, I crafted 5 of each the last time I crafted. We can see that I'm down to 2 of each for the Shadow Gas gauntlets. I'm sure that there are items I'm completely sold out on. Consistent seller, just repost every couple of days and you'll get some nice sales. Then we have Battle Pet flipping, the original multi-realm flipping market. This is pretty nice. You're moving battle pets around between realms, buying them when you can find them cheap. So my general approach is to buy battle pets that are showing up at less than half of the region market value. This way I can be fairly certain that there's a lot of realms where I can sell this for a profit. And even in the worst case, I can sell them at relatively high population realms to get the sales down. This does take a little while to get off the ground. You need to have a lot of battle pets, preferably several hundred, and multiple realms where you're posting them. Otherwise, it's going to be quite slow to get going, because any one battle pet is going to take a while to sell. Once you're up and running, though, you're going to see sales almost every time you repost. You don't really need to know anything about battle pets to do this. I say this every time I talk about this market. I don't know anything about battle pets. I don't play battle pets at all. I don't play that minigame. I don't care about the cosmetics of battle pets. I know literally nothing about it. I've done a little bit of pet battling for like some mounts. But yeah, then I've just followed guides. I have zero knowledge about that whole little minigame. The only thing I know is the prices. I look at prices, I look at region market, I see, is this probably something that I can sell for a profit? Okay, then I'll buy it. That's it. Here we have just 14,000 gold in sales on this realm for the last post scan I did. Most of the battle pets that sell fastest are in the 5,000 to 10,000 gold range. But every once in a while you'll sell one of the giga expensive ones if you have one. The one thing I would say is that with how they've been handling Twitch drops and other sources of like promotions lately, I don't think that the TCG battle pets are a good investment. It's very risky. There's a good chance that they're going to do something like what they did with the bananas battle pet and make it available for everyone and just tank the price completely. So yeah, I would hold off in general from trying to flip TCG battle pets, but that's only a problem for you if you're already pretty rich, because they are in the 300,000 gold and up class, and I would generally stay away from those pets in that price range unless you already have more than 1 million gold, and even then you would only buy one of them, because it's going to take up way too much of your gold, and you're going to often looking at a year plus to sell the item. We have crafted transmog. This is potentially one of the biggest categories of items in the game. I might lump the mounts in here as well. There are some crafted mounts that are well worth keeping in stock. I've made videos on most of them. They're going to be in the video description as well. There's from engineering, there's from alchemy. For crafted transmog, there are so many different items in the game. Here we have a couple of the sales I've gotten from the Nextramas transmog that was added with earlier in Dragonflight. We can see I've sold a couple of items. I don't have that many of the recipes, but they've sold for a decent chunk. And if I'd had all of these and more consistently posted, I would definitely be seeing more sales. Top end can be really high, but it's not that's not typically where you get the most sales. For whatever reason, the mailbox is bugged, so I can't pick up the frostworms thing I know I have. But yeah, there are so many items in the game, so many. So how on earth are you going to find some good ones? What I'd suggest doing something like this: set the max price to level 69 and the max level, search, and then you can sort by price. So you start at the top here, then you just look down here and you try to find something that's craftable, right? Obviously, we're going to look for items that are crafted, so that's going to be a little bit hard to know. We can know that most of the uncommon ones are probably not crafted, so maybe we can disregard those and just look at rares and epics. And you'll look through, and here, since this is sorted by price, you can find the most expensive transmog in the game, and then you can, well, make up your mind, like, okay, look up Wowhead, look up items there if there's something that stands out to you. Or you can do this if you want to check the recipes you already have, then you can just make a group with the recipes you have. Then they'll show up as being in a group, and you can more efficiently figure out if these are craftable items or not. Like the fell-edged battle axe, for instance, this one is crafted. So this is a very interesting one. The reborn weapons, I've been crafting these, had them in place for a while. Haven't sold much. Eternium rune blade is definitely crafted. I don't know if the fell steel stuff from TBC, this recipe used to be super expensive. I'm not sure how expensive it is these days. Was one of the items that I made a ton of gold with. Yeah, fell steel long blade recipe, 300k. I flipped this a couple of times back in Legion. But the point of all of this is, of course, that all of these items will hold their value really well. Cosmetic items, whether they're pets or transmog or anything, because they have the same value in the future as they have now. They are going to look the same. They're going to look potentially cool to someone. So that's great. That's why they keep value long term, and why they don't really get impacted that much by whether a season has more popularity or not. Except for, of course, the fact that you want a large and active game community, so you have people to sell to. So this is the perfect time to do it during the relative slowdown of max level markets that we're going to experience throughout the final season of Dragonflight. So get going, check out some of the videos in the description for specific markets, use some of the tips here, and go craft, flip, transmog mounts, anything to your heart's content.